Congratulations, graduates. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the Nebraska alumni family. Today, you join a community of nearly 200,000 alumni living all around the world. I encourage you to stay connected and engage with the university as you go forth. The path for your Nebraska experience was paved by those who came before you. It now becomes your privilege to pay it forward to the next generation of Huskers through your gifts, not just of treasure, but of time, talent, and experience. We hope you'll join the Alumni Association and discover the many ways that you can stay connected. You have much to offer our alma mater, and your continued involvement is critical to Nebraska's success. Once again, congratulations, and welcome to the alumni family.
Bring you heartfelt congratulations from all University of Nebraska faculty. We are the extension educators who inspired you, the mentors who encouraged your curiosity in your laboratory research experiences and who provided opportunities for creative expression, and the professors who shaped your journey for knowledge by helping you to expand your horizons. We wish you a lifetime of happiness and success.
On behalf of those who are graduating today, this is a proud moment for all of us. I would like to thank our university administrators, faculty, and staff for their dedication to the students. And to our newest graduates, we gather to celebrate the culmination of your Nebraska experience. I am confident that each of you will leave the university prepared for satisfying careers and service to your communities.
It is my privilege and pleasure to be here to bring greetings and congratulations from the Board of Regents on this very special occasion. This is your special day. It's a day to celebrate and to say thanks. Saying thanks to your family, to friends, to staff, teachers, for their encouragement and support in both the good times and the trying ones, and you've experienced both of those this last year. We thank you for what you have added to our state and to UNL with your efforts, your energy, perseverance, especially during these difficult pandemic times. We are better because you have been here. While this is a celebration day, we don't refer to this as a graduation celebration. We refer to it as a graduation commencement. We call it a commencement because you are about to commence, to begin, a whole new experience and phase of your life. Nothing worthwhile just stands still. It moves, and hopefully forward. We look forward to what you will add wherever you are headed and whatever you are doing, because you can make this world an even better place. I leave you with some special hopes I have for each of you as you move forward. I hope you will always have friends and family supporting you. Something special to look forward to and someone special to love. Congratulations on your achievements. Enjoy this special day.
welcome to Memorial Stadium. It's graduation day at Nebraska.
Good afternoon, and welcome graduates, families, and friends, the university community, and distinguished guests. I am Ronnie Green, and I have the privilege and honor of serving as the 20th Chancellor for the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, our state's flagship land-grant Carnegie One Research University. Welcome to Graduation Day at Nebraska. Thank you for joining us here for this special day, for the first time in our 152-year history in our beloved Memorial Stadium, and that deserves a big round of applause. We are streaming live around the world for this incredible moment in the lives of our graduates and in the life of our university. Commencement is truly a special time. I'm overjoyed that we are once again able to conduct in-person ceremonies and continue our time-honored tradition of presenting your actual diploma here on stage today. Our university community is made up of students, faculty, staff, alumni, and friends who know what it means to be determined and resilient in the face of obstacles. We strive toward our goals by adapting and innovating. That is true in what we might call a normal year. It has never been truer than over the past 15 months. I am immensely proud of all of our graduating students and what has been accomplished during this unprecedented time of COVID-19. Your perseverance through the greatest global health crisis in 100 years is part of the reason we're here today. Your resilience, your determination, and your grit are certainly a part of what we celebrate in this academic milestone in your lives. Today, we present undergraduate degrees to this accomplished group of scholars who will now share in an impressive heritage. At ceremonies this weekend, we will confer 3,641 degrees, bringing our total to 305,015 degrees conferred since our charter on February 15, 1869. We are proud of your accomplishments and thankful for your contributions. You have raised our level of critical thinking and creative activity as a world-leading institution of higher learning, adding to the legacy of people who have earned their degrees here at Nebraska. You are a graduate of one of the greatest universities in the world, the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. You have worked hard, applied grit, shared your talent, and earned a University of Nebraska degree. So celebrate this day, celebrate your achievements, but even more importantly, join us in celebrating the possibilities that you are about to unleash on the world as you move forward in your lives and in your careers. I officially declare that the May 2021 University of Nebraska-Lincoln Commencement is now convened. Now please rise if you are able as Karen Berg, a Bachelor of Music degree candidate in the Glencorf School of Music, sings our national anthem. Today's Joint Color Guard is comprised of members of the University of Nebraska's Army, Navy, and Air Force Reserve Officer Training Cadets detachments. Pursuant to an act of Congress, those who have served in the military may salute, even though not in uniform. Gentlemen, please remove your hats.
broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please be seated. Let's give another round of applause to Karen Berg on that wonderful rendition of our national anthem. On stage and on the field are outstanding public servants from the University of Nebraska Board of Regents, the University of Nebraska Central Administration, the University of Nebraska-Lincoln Administration, and faculty. Will all of you please stand and be recognized and receive our gratitude? Several of today's graduates have completed a course of study and training in the Reserve Officer Training Corps of the Armed Forces of our country. Their names appear on page 69 of your program. Please welcome, it's my pleasure to introduce to you Ted Carter, President of the University of Nebraska System, to introduce our ROTC program.
Good afternoon, everyone. What an exciting day. How special is this day? Chancellor Ronnie Green, I want to say on behalf of the Board of Regents, your president of the University of Nebraska System, how proud we are that you have been able to put together this first-class event in Memorial Stadium. It is truly historic. And I also want to pass my congratulations to our graduates and to our family and friends here in the audience. I can feel the energy that you have brought here today, and I can tell how excited you are. For our graduates, you've been through a period of time in our nation that we've never seen, not for 100 years, and yet here you are. And on this day, we can all just feel as we're starting to come out of a global pandemic, a sense of hope and optimism as we are here celebrating commencement exercises in person. Now today you're going to have a special opportunity to see something else very unique and special. You're about to hear an oath of commission for military officers. Now the oath of commission goes all the way back to General George Washington and the very founding of our nation when he was the commanding general of the Continental Army. and he realized that he needed to have an oath for his officers and enlisted. And the oath that's evolved over the many, many years and centuries is still principally the same. It's a special oath. It's not like any other profession in the United States. It's not an oath to a person, to a general, to an admiral. It's an oath to a concept, a set of ideals, the ideals of freedom and democracy is outlined in our Constitution of the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, 10 second lieutenants of the United States Army are about to take their commissioning oath. I hope that you will listen to every single word. This is service above self, to believe in something greater than yourself. And I think it's just a small microcosm of the entire class of 2021. I believe, as everyone on this platform does, that our future is brighter because of you, because you're going to go and serve as well and do things bigger than yourself. So as someone that had the privilege of wearing the cloth of our nation as a commissioned officer for 38 years, I can't tell you how proud I am that UNL has decided to allow you to bear witness to the commissioning oath. It's my privilege to announce Lieutenant Colonel Mark Peer, Professor of Military Science, United States Army, ROTC, to deliver the commissioning oath.
Good afternoon. President Carter, Chancellor Green, on behalf of the Departments of Military Science, Naval Science, and Aerospace Studies, I'm honored to present to you and the Board of Regents these candidates who, in addition to their academic degree programs, have voluntarily completed a military training program that qualifies them to serve in the United States Army. Today, these young Americans will become commissioned officers in the United States Army, and so continue a legacy of Nebraskans serving and protecting the freedoms of our nation. They join the ranks of other graduates from this great university who serve or have served our nation, many of whom are combat veterans, some of whom have paid the ultimate sacrifice. I would invite any other student graduating today who has served in the armed forces of our country or who is currently serving to also stand at this time. These students are recognized for their service to our country with red, white, and blue honor cords on their robes. Please join me in a round of applause. The University of Nebraska is proud of what its military graduates have attained, and equally proud of these future officers who will soon begin their service to our country. With the preparation, development, and academic success they have accomplished here at the University of Nebraska, I know these graduates are destined to become outstanding future leaders of America. Will the commissioning students please rise and follow the University Marshal forward for the oath of office? Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your full name. Having been appointed an officer in the Army of the United States in the grade of second lieutenant, do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I take this obligation freely, without mental reservation or purpose of evasion. I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I'm about to enter. So help me God. Congratulations. Please join me in a round of applause for the Army's newest lieutenants.
Congratulations to each of you. Please give them another big round of applause. Because of potential weather concerns, we are now going to begin distributing diplomas and then continue with our program after the diplomas are distributed. Today's ceremony continues our time-honored tradition of presenting your actual diploma on stage. It is a special Nebraska tradition that we're very proud of here and an endeavor that very few Big Ten universities are committed to doing. We will now begin awarding earned degrees. Grad Images is here today to photograph the candidates as you receive your degrees. The company will contact you to offer photos from today's ceremony. In the program, you will also find instructions on how to order photographs. We ask that the audience please remain seated during the ceremony. In separate ceremonies yesterday, we conferred 554 graduate and professional degrees and 115 law degrees. Today, the university will confer 2,972 baccalaureate degrees between the morning and the afternoon ceremonies. This weekend, we will have 77% of our graduates walk in ceremonies and receive their diploma here on stage. Several students have qualified for special honors. Some students have completed the requirements in the university's honors program. They are wearing scarlet and cream-colored braided cords over their right shoulders. Also wearing scarlet and cream shoulder cords are students who have completed the requirements of the Jeffrey S. Rake School of Computer Science and Management and the Nebraska Business Honors Academy. Would these students please stand? Students who have fulfilled requirements for academic honors established by their colleges are wearing special medallions with their academic regalia. Those who have earned their degrees with distinction are wearing a medallion with a red ribbon. Will these students please stand and be recognized? Students who have earned their degrees with high distinction are wearing a medallion with a white ribbon. Will these students please stand? And students who have earned their degrees with highest distinction are wearing a medallion with a red and white ribbon. Will these students please stand? We will now award baccalaureate degrees from each of the colleges of the university. Will the class of 2021 please stand? By authority of the state of Nebraska, vested in the University of Nebraska's Board of Regents, and upon recommendation from the faculty, I am pleased to confer upon each of you a bachelor's degree according to your particular curriculum and course of study, with all of the associated honors, privileges, and responsibilities. Congratulations, graduates. Please be seated. In today's ceremonies, we will recognize 65 students who have earned the distinction as a Chancellor's Scholar. These students have earned an A in all of their graded coursework at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln and all other post-secondary institutions in which they may have studied. These students are wearing a medallion with a Chancellor's Scholar pin attached to the ribbon. Will the Chancellor's Scholars please stand? I want to personally congratulate each of you for your perseverance and dedication to your academic endeavors. Chancellor's Scholars will now be directed by the marshals to come to the stage to receive their diploma in alphabetical order as listed on page 32 of your program. Let's congratulate all of these Chancellor Scholars on their accomplishments. Dr. Elizabeth Spiller, Executive Vice Chancellor and Chief Academic Officer of the university, will now introduce each of our college deans who will present their students for their diplomas. Graduates are listed in the program beginning on page 34.
Graduates for the degrees in the College of Engineering will be presented by Dean Lance Perez and Dr. Sohrab Askarpour.
Will the candidates please rise? Chancellor Green, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the College of Engineering, I am honored to present to you those students who have fulfilled all requirements for bachelor's degrees in engineering and construction. Where do you want me?
Graduates for degrees in the College of Education and Human Sciences will be presented by Dean Sherry Jones and Dr. Guy Trainin.
Will the graduates please rise? Chancellor Green, upon recommendation of the faculty in the College of Education and Human Sciences, I am honored to present our students who have fulfilled all requirements for bachelor's degrees in our college.
Graduates for the degrees in the College of Arts and Sciences will be presented by Dr. June Griffin and Dr. Patrick Dussault.
Will the graduates please rise? Chancellor Green, upon recommendation of the faculty of the College of Arts and Sciences, I am honored to present the students who have fulfilled all requirements for the degree Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science.
Congratulations to all our graduates. We really appreciate everyone's cooperation this afternoon. Obviously, we're watching the weather carefully. So we switched the program up quite a bit from what you would have seen in the program to assure that our graduates had their diplomas in their hands in the event that the weather turned on us. I'm now so pleased to be able to introduce a Nebraskan who has had a storied career at this institution. We know him as a coach, an educator, a congressman, and I am blessed to also know him as a friend and mentor. Please direct your attention to the Husker Vision screens.
Today, our graduates are seated on Tom Osborne Field, which was so named to honor the legacy of a man whose impact on our university and our state lives on, long past his storied coaching career. A native of Hastings, he earned his bachelor's degree at Hastings College and enjoyed a brief playing career in the National Football League. He earned his master's and doctoral degrees in educational psychology here at Nebraska, while serving as an assistant coach under the legendary Bob Devaney. Osborne was named head coach in 1973, and over the next 25 years established himself as one of the best coaches in college football history.
The career-ending victory. Only fitting that it would end with a victory in the national championship for Tom Osborne. He leaves us with 255 wins.
He guided Nebraska to 13 conference titles and 3 national championships, and he helped Nebraska claim the most academic All-Americans in the nation. He was elected to the College Football Hall of Fame in 1999. Retired from coaching, Tom taught graduate courses at Nebraska for 2 years before he was elected to represent Nebraska's 3rd District in the U.S. House of Representatives. In 2007, Osborne returned to the university to serve as athletic director, leading Husker athletics into the Big Ten Conference. Dr. Osborne continues a lifelong commitment to education. The Teammates program, founded by Tom and his partner in life, Nancy, today provides support and encouragement to more than 10,000 school-aged youth in multiple states. Our very own Scott Frost played for Osborne on the 1995 and 97 national champion teams.
I think the legacy is the people that he's helped to change and to mold. I'm one of those. If you talk to any player that's ever played for him, they'll talk to you about the impact that Coach Osborne had on them. Teammates has impacted thousands of more people, both mentors and mentees. He really has dedicated his life to making the people of Nebraska better and the state of Nebraska better.
Please welcome Dr. Tom Osborne to deliver the commencement address. His remarks today are titled, "Begin with the End in Mind."
Well, thank you very much. I'm glad the rain held off. I was just about to be scrubbed off of the program. And I'd say this is one of those days where you take the wind instead of the football. Pretty rough breeze out there today. I want to congratulate all of you graduates. It's been kind of impressive to see all of you walk up here. And I want to also congratulate the parents, because you're going to be paying less tuition now, and that's going to be important too. So this is really kind of an end and a beginning for you graduates. For most of you, it'll be the end of your formal education, and yet it's the beginning of what most people would say will be your adult journey. And so Ronnie mentioned the title of what I'm going to talk about today. There's a guy named Stephen Covey who wrote a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Not necessarily the most successful people financially, but people who live their lives really effectively. And I'm not going to go through all 7 habits, But I'm going to mention the second habit, which I think might be relevant today, because what that second habit was this. Covey said, begin with the end in mind. And this is sort of a beginning for you. And so he said what you ought to do is maybe this evening sit down and write down what you'd want a family member to say about you at the end of your life. And then ask somebody who's a close friend to sit down and write what they would want to say about you at the end of your life. And maybe a colleague, somebody's worked with you, somebody's associated with you for a long time. And then look very carefully at those things that they say, because at the end, those will be the things that are really important. And so the interesting thing is that it's really important now that you live so that those things will be true. And so I think thinking about what's going to happen at the end is very instructive when you look at it from end results. So for instance, we spent 90 to 100 hours every week preparing for a football game. And every minute of that 90 to 100 hours was focused on what was going to happen at the end. That we would be the strongest team, the best conditioned team at the end, the team that made the fewest mistakes, the team that had the fewest turnovers, and the team that could execute the best. And so if you look backward from the end to the beginning, sometimes it gives you greater clarity on the way you're going to proceed from that point forward. So let me just give you a couple examples. Some of you are probably contemplating marriage, and that's kind of a daunting decision. And if you think about it, if you look at it, maybe from the standpoint of 50 years down the road, is that person that you choose going to still be with you? Because love is important, love is an emotion, but maybe the biggest part of love is commitment. And so you want to make a decision based on the long term. Some of you have job offers, some of you maybe have multiple job offers, and I'm sure that some of those pay more than others. And so you can look at the job that's going to pay the most, but there may be other jobs that fit your talents better, that you're more excited about. And so that's kind of a fork in the road where you're going to be making a decision that will probably end up in some time of a long-term decision in terms of what your occupation will be going forward. And so I think it's important to begin with the end in mind in that respect. Another thing I want to mention to you is that there was a survey that I read several years ago. I think it was a Gallup survey, and they asked a broad cross-section of American citizens this question. They said, are you happy? And the answer came back, for the most part, yes, I'm happy. And happy was pretty much defined in terms of getting, receiving, sometimes taking. Did you have enough housing? Did you have satisfactory clothing? Did you have transportation? Did you have some discretionary wealth that you could spend at your choice? And so the thing about that is such happiness is something that is temporary. You get a new car, you're happy, and then after a couple years, it's not such a big deal, and then you're on to the next thing, and so that's transitory. And then the question was asked, do you have meaning and purpose in your life? Does your life have significance? And the answer came back, not so much. The average person did not feel that their life had significance or meaning and purpose. And meaning and purpose really has to do more with serving and giving and sacrifice. And the thing about it, it's not transitory. That is more a state of being. It's enduring. And so there's a spiritual element to meaning and purpose, because spirituality is dedication to a cause or a purpose that's as important or more important than you. Ted Carter mentioned that earlier, dedication to something that's more important than you are. And I hope that you can find that thing in your life, because that's what will give you meaning and purpose. And so some of you are teammates graduates, probably quite a few of you are, came through the teammates program. And we find that many of our mentors will tell you that one of the most meaningful things they've done in their lives, they've been maybe 4 years, 5 years, some 10, 11, 12 years, mentoring somebody who can't really do anything for them in return on the surface. And they find that has given their life meaning and purpose. So meaning is a big deal. And lastly, I want to talk a little bit about a statue that's at the north end of the stadium. And there's a guy there with a baseball cap on, and he's not that significant. But the guy with the football uniform, in my estimation, is. That guy was number 18, and his name was Brooke Beringer. And so he played here back in 1994, which seems a long time ago to those of you who are graduating. Most of you weren't even born at that time. And so we had a great quarterback when Brooke came here. His name was Tommy Frazier. And Tommy led us to some national championships. And so in 1994, Tommy went down with an injury. And Brooke was the next guy up. He was a second-team quarterback. And so we gave him the football, and we didn't quite know how he was going to react. He'd never played in front of more than about 300 fans. He's from a little town out in Goodland, Kansas. And he stepped in, and he played pretty well. We were surprised. And then the next game, he played well, and we were winning the game, but toward the end, he was short of breath. And we found out he had a collapsed lung. And so we took him over, and they stuck a needle in his lung and inflated it. And the next week, he had another one, and then they said, now this is getting pretty serious, because if he has another collapsed lung, he won't be able to play anymore. And so he got through it, and he led us to 8 straight wins. We went down to Miami, played in the Orange Bowl against the University of Miami for the national championship. And by then, Tommy Frazier had recovered enough to be able to play, and they both played in that game. And Tommy was in there at the end, and we won, and we were able to win the national championship. And then the next year was kind of a significant time because both of them were back. Both of them were well. And there was some controversy because a lot of players felt that Brooke should be the starter because he led us to the '94 championship. Some felt Tommy Frazier should be the guy that would take over because it wasn't his fault he got hurt, and he was the starter at that time. And so it could have been a situation that split the team. And a lot of fans were divided in their opinion. We finally said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to grade every snap in fall camp, 3 weeks, and whoever has the best grade is going to be the starting quarterback. Well, Brooke had 1 interception, and Tommy had none. And so we handed the ball to Tommy. We had a lot of great players that year. Nobody came closer than 2 touchdowns to us. And Brooke stood on the sideline. He played some toward the end because we'd be ahead in most games. But Tommy was a guy who started that whole year. And I was in every quarterback meeting with those guys, and I knew how much that hurt Brooke to not be the starter. And so I was interested in what his reaction would be. Because when adversity hits, you can basically react in one of 3 ways. I didn't know which way it was going to be. And I can guarantee all of you that you will encounter adversity. There will be some tough times in your life. So the first thing you can do is you can quit. Brooke didn't do that. Or you can just shut it down and go through the motions. He didn't do that. Second thing you can do is you can could have blamed me for the grading system. He could have blamed other people, but he didn't do that. And the third thing you can do when adversity hits is to look at it as an opportunity to learn something, an opportunity to get better. And that's what he did. And so throughout that football season, he spoke at innumerable grade schools, elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools. Anytime somebody asked him to come and speak, he would do it. Visited people in hospitals. He answered letters, and he supported Tommy, and he supported the team. And so at the end of that season, about this time of year, he went out and got in a little Piper Cub that he was flying. He had a pilot's license. Got up to about 1,500, 2,000 feet, windy day, and the engine quit.
And he tried to turn and get back to that landing strip, that little grass landing strip, and not damage the plane. He lost airspeed, and that plane went down like a kite and crashed, and it burned. So I went out and viewed the wreckage and made a call to his mom. That was the hardest call that I've ever made, to make that call. And so we all went down to his funeral in Goodland, Kansas, about 400 miles, 5 busloads of players. Nobody was required to go, and that was about an 8-hour round trip. And everybody on our football team was on that trip. And the reason they were on it was not because Brooke led us to a national championship in '94, but rather because of what he had done in '95, the way he handled himself, the way he cared for them, the way he cared for Tommy Frazier, and the way he held things together. And so the reason he's on that statue was because he was the player that had the most impact of any player that I ever coached. And so the thing that I just want to get across to you is that I think the thing that you need to take with you that will be most meaningful is to begin with the end in mind, to think about how things are going to be at the end, because that will give you a frame of reference. The second will be to find meaning and purpose, primarily through serving. And then lastly, to learn through adversity and become somebody who's got the ability to handle adversity in the way that Brooke did. So thank you for listening, and congratulations again on all that you've accomplished. I wish you the very best in the remainder of your life. And I want to thank all of you parents and people who've come here today. So appreciate it very much. Thank you.
That was one of the special moments that this university will remember for a long time, because there are few people who have had the impact on the state of Nebraska and on this institution as Dr. Tom Osborne. Let's give him another big round of applause. Now, in a moment, we're going to do the ceremonial moving of your tassel. But before we do that, I'd ask our graduates to help me to show the audience a few things here today. I'm going to ask several groups of you to stand and be recognized as graduates. First, if you are the first member of your family to receive a college degree, would you please stand? If you are a student athlete who has worn the N and represented the University of Nebraska in one of our 22 sports in Husker Sports, would you please stand? If you are a graduate who has come to us here from outside the borders of the United States of America, would you please stand? If you're a graduate who we adopted here from another state outside of the state of Nebraska, would you please stand? And if you hail from one of the 93 counties of the great state of Nebraska, would you please stand? Now remain standing, and everyone else, all of the graduates of the class of 2021, please rise. Graduates, in a moment, I will ask you to move the tassel on your mortarboard from right to left. This symbolic gesture will identify you as a University of Nebraska graduate. Earning an undergraduate degree is no easy feat. You are among the select few who have persevered and have earned degrees in your chosen fields. And the emotions that you may feel today, ranging from excitement to anticipation and probably even some relief, are well-deserved. However, whether earning an undergraduate or a graduate degree, I always like to say, from those to whom much has been given, in the education that you have received, and from the people who have worked so hard with you to pursue, grow, and learn in those educations, from you, even more is required in the future. We salute you and look forward to great things from you in applying and using that education to make the world that we live in a better place. We thank you for making us a better university, and we are proud of you in your accomplishments. We hope the pride we have in you is reciprocal, and that wherever you go, you are eager to proclaim that your credentials are from the University of Nebraska. Graduates, please now move your tassel from right to left as we salute you as the University of Nebraska-Lincoln class of 2021. Please be seated. At this point, we would like to thank those who have helped with this ceremony. I want to especially thank all of this team for the extraordinary efforts this year during the pandemic and for this major change in venue for this year. Thank you to the University Marshal Corps, who you saw in red robes on the field today, under the direction of Dr. Robert Gorman. Thanks to our commencement speaker, Coach Tom Osborne, our soloist, Karen Berg, and the University of Nebraska faculty brass and percussion. We extend special appreciation to the Office of Graduate Studies staff and the staff of the Office of the University Registrar, who worked hard to ensure that each student received their diploma here today. Thank you to the staff of Husker Athletics, the University Commencement and Recognition Committee, and the Office of Special Events for the great care that they took in planning every aspect of today's ceremonies. Now, please join me in thanking all of the individuals who worked so hard for today's events. Congratulations again, graduates. Will the platform party and faculty please rise? The May 2021 undergraduate commencement exercises are now concluded, and we beat the weather, by the way. University marshals, please begin the recessional.